Well, the Uniting American Families Act is really very simple. Every American knows someone who has fallen in love with someone from abroad, has married that person, moved back to the United States to live.
Mm-hmm.
This is something the American government refers to as family reunification, and it's absolutely nothing new. Unfortunately, family reunification does not apply to same sex couples, so the Uniting American Families Act would, as the name says, unite these American families who have been excluded thus far. Yes, there are actually more than 20 countries in which citizens can sponsor their same sex partner for immigration. One of those is, for example, our neighbor Canada. Then there are most of the Western European countries such as France, Spain, the UK. Then there's Australia, there is also Brazil and Colombia, and many more. Well, they can, but because of the Defense of Marriage Act, their marriage is still not recognized by the federal government, and at the federal level, immigration law is handled. So the federal government cannot recognize their marriage, and therefore they cannot sponsor their partner for immigration. No, the Uniting American Families Act is completely separate. It's a completely separate issue from same sex marriage. It would simply allow Americans to sponsor their same sex permanent partner, as I've already described. The UAFA only has to do with the fact that people in love want to live together. Actually, it'll probably decrease marriage fraud. As everybody knows, the opportunity to commit marriage fraud already exists, and anyone who lives in our society is not going to pretend to be gay to enter into a sham marriage. We know from heterosexual friends how tough the INS is, and their same requirements and same penalties will apply to same sex partners. So they will test to make sure that you are financially interdependent, that the relationship has actually existed for a while and will exist into the future. Well, the current situation for these approximately 40,000 couples, of which about half have children, is very, very difficult. Because the American citizen cannot sponsor the family for permanent residency in the United States, they have really very few options. In fact, they have no legal options to stay together permanently in the United States. The few options that they do have, the few visas that are available, are no guarantee and they're not permanent. So what's actually happening is that these families are being forced into exile. They're being forced to leave the United States to live somewhere else. And actually, many people are doing this. Many couples are doing this, leaving behind careers, businesses, homes, and families. So, really, this is an unfair situation for American citizens to be facing. And it's a no brainer. The Uniting American Families Act would prevent Americans from having to choose between their homeland and their family. Well, first of all, thank you very much for your interest and your support. What you can do is to contact your congressional representative and both of your senators and ask them to please co sponsor the Uniting American Families Act if they haven't already done so.